Well, our speaker today is Charles Van Gilder, or Chuck, who reminds me of that old Hollywood movie, Little Big Man, where Dustin Hoffman portrayed somebody that had lived 7 lives. Well, Chuck has had 6 different lives in aviation, and then he just told me he was in the Army for a little period of time. In the 7th, he had a career in retirement. So the first he was with the Northwest Airlines Mod Center in St. Paul, and then he was up at Watson Lake in the Yukon Territory. Then he had 11 different World War II operations in the U.S. Navy as a plane captain on an escort carrier that was hit by the first kamikazes of World War II during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, which, as you know, was the largest naval battle in human history. He then served with the Air Force Reserve as a flight engineer and the Minnesota Air National Guard, and he had a long career with Northwest Airlines as an aviation mechanic. Since his retirement, he's been an AARP volunteer tax advisor. When he was in Nagasaki on September 19, 1945, rescuing American POWs back on the hills, he was exposed to some radiation which caused a jaw problem. So we have 2 microphone systems available today, and we increased the volume. Can you all hear me pretty well? There? Okay. And then Mary has brought her system also in case we need that as a backup. Okay, well, Dick's going to make sure that we keep the sound levels up. So we're going to take a minute and just set up here, and we'll start in just a little bit. All right, so please join me in welcoming Chuck Van Gilder.
Well, welcome all you folks for this. It looks like most of us know a little bit about the past. They're all over 50, I guess. Anyway, my name is Charles Van Gilder, and I graduated from Ken Falls High School back in '42. I went to a Mod Center in St. Paul for Northwest Airlines and went up there to get an interview, and they asked me if read the 6-inch rule, and I read 16s on it, and he said, okay, you can start work tonight. About as quick an interview as you get to one, because they needed people at the Mod Center down there at, is that too loud that way?
No, it's okay.
Yeah. And then we got there at the Mod Center. Then they had one of the volunteers to go up to the Northern Division of Northwest Airlines to refuel airplanes going to Russia. So I went up to Yukon Territry there and refueled airplanes at Watson Lake. And it gets chilly up there because I'm February of '43. that it was 20 above, and next morning it was 72 degrees below zero. Enormous, the got about 40, and I got pictures here of up there the Yukon. But it just run through the things, shelves through there. And then this is the airport and the mod center down there in St. Paul. And here's the hangars that was for that. And Northwest Airlines, Watson Lake Territory, the Air Transport Command we work for up there, refueling airplanes going to Russia and Alcan Highway up there. And so that Alcan Highway is never been on, it was never done straight. Because if they have it straight, well, then it could be straight by the enemy. So they made the road crooked purposely. That's a sign that Watson Lake there of different things, and that sign is real big. This is Hudson's Bay down at Lower Coast on there, and this is for refueling or changing spark plugs at 60 degrees below zero. It was a little cool that day. This is me at that, and so there's a lot of these pictures that take them through a little bit. They're all the Watson Lakes, different airplanes that we had up there in service. P-38, there's a bullet C-46, our bunks. There's Bob Hope and Francis Langford and Jerry Colonna. There's a C-46. 47, because the difference between the 46 and 47 is the cargo or passenger. And U.S. Navy plane captain on USS Suwannee. And I went to boot camp up here in Idaho, and then went into service April of 43 and got on a VF Squadron 60. This is pictures of me. It was taken it on a little bit. There's my boot camp picture. Through. And that's the end of that picture there.
Is that Farragut, Idaho?
Yeah, Farragut, Idaho. Up there in the panhandle of Idaho. And where the Navy boot camp was. And there's a carrier, USS Suwannee. And this is the stern here. There's 40 millimeter quad there, and these are all along here. 20 millimeter guns they had on each side. It's about at least 8 or 10, about more than that on each side of 20 millimeter. This is a picture of the elevators that they have. Take planes down on the hangar deck. This is loaded with all the airplanes we had. We had 18 F-6S and 9 TVF Avenger bombers. There was a battle, the number I was through all of them. This is some of the, this is the polywall where you crossed equator, and oh, there's a map of here. There's the Solomon Islands and Esperito, Santa, and all these. You got a map that drew the sea there, and it covers everywhere from Hawaii west. We were under general quarters all the time because of and then they called flight quarters, and then we just launched our aircraft, and we had aircraft sitting on the catwalk all the time, with the pilots and everything. And when they called flight quarters, well, as soon as the engine fired, the man on the catwalk fired, and airplane was airborne. Now, probably 10, 15 seconds, it would be gone. And my pilot at Shea told me, he said one time when he launched, the oil pressure was just coming up, and he was already airborne. So that's how quick we launched these aircraft. This is when we went shore one time to that's New Hebrides actually, where this is where we went down to Borneo on one of the trips down there. And this is where some of the crew on there. There's our crew there, the enlisted men of the VF-60 group. There's the pilots of that group. This is Elliot Saul, landing signal officer. He'd give the signal to the pilot that's landing, and when to drop the gear to land, and otherwise go around. The pilot couldn't see the deck and land. There's one that's just landing, so he's downwind to come around and land. That's the engine bomber. There's a flight of our F-6. There's when he just signaled him to drop the gear, and then whatever his attitude is on that approach, carries him down on the deck. Then there's one there real close to airborne F-6. There's one of them that all folded the wings up so you get more airplane on the deck. It had there's one big lens so good, he went up on his nose. And if we can't fix it right away, we have to throw him over and try to get another one. Like that. Just through the airplane. This is the damage that we had with the second kamikaze that hit us. We had two commanders for the Saigon and the Suwannee get together out at sea. I think they'd have enough room for that. That happens once in a while. That's more damage to the ship. And when we wanted to stop the picture here and show you something that happened. That's a collision to this plane. That first kamikaze comes down and gets the midsection of the flight deck. I was on the flight deck, just walking across, we were just finished landing aircraft. As I walked across the flight deck, jumping the cap off, the guy was putting 20mm shells with an ammo into a gun there, and he was standing up there. And just whatever came off that airplane, he captured him right in front of me there. And then to my left was 4 20mm holes that he left in the side of the ship and shooting. And then one off the aft down he was sitting there in the corner with a chunk of metal in his head. We can't give him morphine with a head injury. So we carried him down to a sick bay, and the other one wanted to drink water. Give him some water, just run out his side. All these, we were took about an hour and a half, repaired it, and went on the way. That's the island of San Pedro. This is where Lady Island is. We were in San Pedro Bay, and we were fighting in this. On the first day, damaged photos from the first kamikaze attack here, the airplane elevator. There was a hole they made in the flight deck. One came through, but his bomb went off in the hangar deck, and there'll be more pictures here. Seeing what there's the hangar deck. There's the engine from that kamikaze. So there's some more damaged airplanes. We were still out, and plugged a hole on top. Hangar deck is not usable in the Afghan because they went to this in the hole where they went through. There's another picture of old smoking. And there's a cover put over that hole so we continue landing aircraft. And then there's a few of the sick people went, and on the first day, by midnight, we put 127 bodies over the side. And this is about there. There's the Connie coming down. This is one of our planes to land down there. And it gets a little closer. This, we thought was our plane, but it isn't. He dropped some bomb on us at the same time as we get hit with this kamikaze. Here he is. He dropped some bomb. He dropped. Our sister ship was taking these pictures. And there's the bomb I got here. Yeah, the other previous picture, and this is all flame. It's all flame. And then there's, we go on there. We're in smoke, and when this happened, when I was down in the mess hall eating, my plane was out on a mission, so we took our turn to go eat. And when there's a forward elevator where we hit, damaged that. Another part of the ship was damaged at that corner. There's a forward elevator again. That was damaged. This is a conning tower that was hit, scattered, and we were down mess hall there, and when we heard this big bomb, you've never seen it again. And this is a movie, object movie of it there. Down the mess hall there. And when we moved, you can make a jackrabbit with still motion, because we really moved out to get up top side. There's one of the people that it was blown off and jumped off because the planes are in the smoke. That's I was just smoke and burning. Airplanes, you went right into that pile of airplanes we had on the bow there, and he blew up with it. And one carrier vendors we had landing at the same time, and they both met right in there. And that's her, that
piece of metal on my helmet, and all over with there. I have it in my pocket here too. It's that piece of shell. And one hole in the side of my helmet, and two on the other side. I was wondering what was moving. The noise was two small pieces that was inside of the wrapping in the helmet. This is a sick bay that was taking care of the guy. This is kind of the flag on with bury him over the side. See, there's a list of all the people we lost in 2 days. Total of 688 out of 1,200. Took it back to Okinawa and get it repaired. We got back there in December of 44 and repaired and back out to sea and did late January 45. A little over 2 months and a half to repair the ship. It was back out to sea and went from here back to Ulysses Islands, and never picked up, never replaced 50 crew members there that filled up the whole complement back in Bremerton. Then we went north from Okinawa, getting all ready to at Okinawa here, to Buckner Bay. So going here in the Bay, Japan. Well, as we know, they dropped on August 6th of 45, the first bomb, up a little bit. Yeah, losing it. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to hold it there. But anyway, at Buckner Bay, August 6th and 9th of 45, when they dropped 2 companies, one on Nagasaki, one in Hiroshima. Wondered one day, August 14th, 45 to be exact, about in the evening, when we heard all this noise going on. Went outside, look, here was a guy running around with a revolver shooting through the flight deck, and the guns going off. Well, what they were doing, they were celebrating the end of World War II. They just surrendered that day. And so we left a while later, after September 2nd, we went to sea, launched our aircraft over the signing on September 2nd. So if there was any feedback of jet planes shooting at us, so we had our fighters ready to go. And we come back, landed, and went up here to Nagasaki, and in the harbor there, and the Airedale wasn't needed anymore. So we went ashore there to plow the roads out and to go back in the hills and find POWs, brought back a lot of them, filled up what we could, the hangar deck. And everything, my bunks. I don't know where they got all the food for them. But then we brought back from there to the red lines after our kamikaze, and the blue line before. So then we went from there up here to there, and up to Yokohama, and Shibuya area, and down here. We were picking up POWs or sick personnel and brought them back to San Diego in 45 there. And so stopped and picked them up all the way. And so beginning to feel a little safety on this. They had a map showed all, and it was roughly saying that
sea for 25 months launching aircraft, and there's been estimated between the 5,000 and 7,000 sorties they put out on 25 months of sea. And that's, anybody got any questions? How many died? This is 688. That's what it was that passed. Got there and showed the whole list there. The past there. And
Charlie, did you spend some time in the water yourself? Did you spend some time in the water by yourself?
no, I didn't go up and get off the ship. I didn't get off the ship. I didn't blow off or jump off. But I do remember running to get off, another explosion, all the ammo areas where we had an ammunition store, they totally blown up because of the heat and the fire would set them off. So we had shrapnel flying like hail all over the place. And that's how I got that chunk and dump went there. So, yeah.
Were you on your carrier in Buckner Bay when the war was over?
Yeah, I was on the,
I was in Buckner Bay too on a seaplane. when the war was
yeah,
over. All the guns blown off.
yeah, it was on April, August 14th, just at twilight, because at least when we got to work, and this guy running around the flight deck with all were celebrating, and all celebrating, ready to go home, you know, but it took a little time to get this one. Like today, you know, that's what irritates me sometimes, just going employment for a year and back home again, and then another few months later, you're back there again. It just confuses you, and nothing.
Was it about 70 feet from the flight deck to the sea?
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, from the flight deck to the water. Well, what, we had life belts on us, and it had a little cartridge in there. Either if you bent over real bad, it set it off, like that, or if you hit the water, the pressure would set it off in case you were unconscious. But that would set off in your body and be floating there to pick up if you're unconscious. Yeah.
Did you always have escort planes in the air to protect you?
No, we had, no, we didn't, our own airplanes, so I'd see, and there, our own airplanes taking off.
You had destroyer escort.
Yeah, oh yeah, we had destroyer and cruisers and the battleships made up a whole big group of the whole works. And this one time we had a quick light order called, and I wonder why it was so quick. We run fast anyway on launching the aircraft that and what it was, later, there was a Betty bomber out there, about 20 miles or so, because that's about the distance you see on the water and the radar pickup. We had to get our airplanes up, off the deck, up in the air and above them to shoot them down before they got to us. And one of them along the line got through, one of the fighters anyway, come through when we was at a low time. We was playing pinochle, went out the door there and looked out and heard this noise going on, looking right into the mouth of the fighter that was firing at us, and right below on the deck where the bullets was hitting. I don't know, all those probably in military going through like a cat, 9 lives and made it through, you know. And that's what it seems like. And any other questions? Yeah.
Chuck, how did you know where the POWs were?
We didn't. We just knew they were in the hills. They went in there with the trucks with V plows to find the roads to get back there. And as we went along, there was a big chunk of concrete. Well, that didn't make sense for a road. Pushed it off a little bit. There was railroad tracks. So what this concrete was had been the railroad station. And going back in there. And
What was it like to pick up the POWs? What was?
well, they were glad to get out of there, but then somehow some of the ground troops or something must have got them neutralized as far as the enemy to them, or they just decided to give up and not do any more harm to the POWs.
Okay, so the enemy kind of dispersed.
Yeah, they had to go back there and we'd pick them up and bring them back in the trucks. And then that boat or whatever, and that between the land and the ship we put down.
Charlie, when you said your ship was in for repairs, and that took how much time did you say?
Less than 2 months.
Okay, during that less than 2 month period, were you still assigned to that ship?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We were assigned, I was assigned to it October 43 when the first went out, and I was just still until November of 45, 27 months actually, or 25 months from October to, that's 25 months from October 43 to November 45. I was there all the time. We have some others on there that were longer, what they were called plank owners, when the ship was originally commissioned until it was decommissioned sometime in 46. Then it was sold for scrap to Spain. That's all I know about that. Any other questions?
When you got out of the service, did you go back home and settle down?
No, when I left San Diego in November 17th of 45, at that period of time, anyone in the military uniform, it didn't take long to get a ride. Somebody went to Detroit, Michigan in about 4 days. Because somebody's always willing to give you a ride. It ain't like it is today. It's a whole different world we're living in. And it's sometimes hard to change our feelings about things because it's so different from back then, 50, 60, 70 years ago. We all see it change. I don't particularly think it's any better, but it's getting, the technology is too much.
We are so fortunate that you made it through so that you could be here today with a remarkable story. Let's hear it, of course. Actually, I'm another Navy guy.
Well, the other half of my military was the Air Force. From February of 56 till October of 83 when I retired then. A total of 30 years. The Air Force? I was a flight engineer. That's when we started at a C-46 and F-80s in 56 on the west side of the airport out here. And it was out later year we got C-119Gs. And we went first flight down to San Diego, and I remember we was interested in watching Sputnik and Russian, went home, that particular, and then went down from there to I was flying engineer until 73, and that was in 61 to 63. I was in Air National Guard, called active duty for a year, and then there on C-97, I flew flight engineer. So we carried troops all over, equipment all over the country, at the reserves, you know, and things that they don't talk about what it is at that time. And now I'm talking about it more. Over 50 years old, most restricted stuff available to talk about. And I worked, I started work in Northwest Airlines July 7th of 42, and I retired in October of 85, 43 years with Northwest Airlines, 30 years in the military. And then
This young gentleman is 90 years old.
I would guess that. Yeah,
Just a kid, you're 92.
about a little over 90 and a half. When we get older, we start counting halves. You never know, I mean, of course, you know, but above 90, you know, we think back, there's an awful lot of us people that's in worse shape than we are, you know, various degrees of sickness and physical harm. That's one thing I say, I didn't get hurt physically anywhere in this whole operation, but I'll admit that mentally, very much upset all the time. And I was listening to PTSD disorder because of the traumatic,
Chuck, you know, there were over 100 CVEs built during
Yeah.
World War II, and most of them were named after battles. Now, the Suwannee, was that named after a battle, and where was the battle?
if you look through the USS Suwannee on the internet, you read the story there, and like he said, there was many CVEs. I read 85 of them was out there, and but such battle out there. So we was, and I think that was the largest naval battle in the world. And think of that many CVEs we had. How many of the big carriers, destroyers, cruisers, and battleships, how many men to complement that whole thing? Millions of us, you know, out there. And then getting supplies to us when we needed them and everything. You know, and kind of gives you the service of how we had to produce that much. But Willow Run in Detroit, I've read that they produce a B-24 every hour out of that base. And we'll never be that efficient again.
Make t-shirts.
Any other questions or comments?
Let's hear it again.
Yeah.